I don't know when I first fell in love with you. Maya, we're getting this one. I am in love with that. I haven't been this blissful in seemingly forever. I'm exceptionally apprehensive. Assuming command over this man, Tetris, resembles control in the house. Then, I believe that you place far too much importance on what other people think of you. You really believe that? Jostle is throwing away the only song that is actually selling tickets. Fire is a foot. She has been taught by him. You have absolutely no one's trust at this point. Never endow a pal with a rat tail. Jocelyn encounters Tedros Abel's personality during a confusing time in her life, which alters her perception of the world. She experiences creative blockage, and as a result, she begins to look for inspiration in dark places. What happens when someone puts so much pressure on themselves that it becomes self-sabotage will be discussed in episode 2. We were able to pull off everything from Jane Greer's Out of the Past to Sharon Stone's Basic Instinct. With this poise, these iconic female characters unearthed truths and revealed the darkness of their lives. Do you trust me? No, I have never been a part of this universe. In addition, it was evident that I needed to ensure that the individual seemed sincere. Even at one point, dance classes, singing lessons, and piano lessons were offered. Without pondering the staggering pop stars who preceded Jocelyn, how is it that I could play a pop star? Jocelyn is a person. What looks and sounds good for a generation is decided by Jocelyn. When we first meet Jocelyn, she clearly has more of an influence from a pop star from the late 1990s or early 2000s. Think Christina Aguilera and Britney Lances. Because the lip liner is so precise, we actually used a shade that was darker all around her lip. That helps me think back to the 1990s. By connecting the Cupid's bow, we also gave it an old Hollywood feel by adding our own modern twist. In Jocelyn's reality, the many individuals who rely upon her and the tension that can accompany it, as well as each of the moving pieces of this machine that are continually around her. Talia is a visitor from outside these areas. She wants to know more about what happens behind closed doors, both with Jocelyn and with her team. You don't have to say much. There is not much you need to do. You only need to watch and let people speak for themselves. Jocelyn's right hand and closest friend is Leah. However, despite your best efforts to keep your relationship pure, everyone has their own reasons. Most of the time, Nikki is the only one who needs to admit that it doesn't work. She gave various opportunities to Jocelyn to succeed. If Jocelyn is destroying herself for herself, someone else will step in. Mom. Jocelyn's life was significantly helped by her mother, and following her mother's request for Chaim and Destiny to assume control. To some, it will appear to be manipulative. However, I believe that Destiny's main goal is to ensure Jocelyn's safety. Jocelyn and Sander have an extremely challenging relationship. He is both her dearest companion and imaginative chief. I accept that she doesn't necessarily in every case have the foggiest idea what she needs, which is where their inventive strain comes from. The frightening part is that people simply get lost. It's, oh, people. Let's make the dream come true. The making of that music video felt extremely immersive. It appeared quite real. We almost gave the impression of being in a play. When I'm working on choreography, I like to try to create something that will last forever. Therefore, I even draw motivation from compositions. Because she reminded me of Venus in Botticelli, Lily even performed such poses. Lily sat for nearly 4 hours with all of those extensions stuck in her head because she had to dance for days. I was a huge fan of 90s pop music. She coordinates the artists, however, she additionally permits herself to be controlled. The camera's movement is almost impossible to detect. It has no bearing on where it is. She accurately conveys the character's feelings. Given how much I empathize with her, shooting it was awful. Even though she is completely unfit to continue at that point, I believe